Now you are able to see now, Abhishek? Sorry, this Joseph, you are able to see now. Yeah, okay. Right. Mute. All right. So hello everyone. So welcome to the next problem solving session, which I am calling as 4, in which we will try to understand how to solve the 4th exercise. So when you look at the 4th exercise carefully, okay, you will see that we have to find the values of the following signals. Don't worry about the signals, you will understand them shortly. The following signals at the indicated times. Okay, that is the crucial thing here. So what the problem is asking us to do is, there is a indicated time in the question, indicated time. At the indicated time, we have to find the value of the signal. Now, before we go into this particular problem, let me give you a simple example. Supposing I give you a signal called f of t, okay, so which is equal to sine t, okay, sine t for 0 less than t less than 2 pi, okay, and it is equal to 0 otherwise, right? So this is the definition of some signal. Okay, now if I ask you indicated time, tell me what is f of t at t equal to pi, t equal to pi. You have to give me the answer for this one. See how simple it is. When you look at this one, all you have to do is you have to substitute instead of t, you have to put pi here, and what will you get? Because pi is between 0 and 2 pi. Pi is between 0 and 2 pi. You can use the upper value, that is sine pi. And what is sine pi? This value you have to put here. Okay, is it 0 or is it 1? Whatever you feel, that answer you have to put. I'm not going to give you all these answers now. Now, supposing I'm asking you, find the value of f of t at t equal to 4 pi. T equal to 4 pi. So you have to be very careful when looking at the function. So in this function, where is 4 pi? 4 pi is outside this limit. Normally you would have put sine 4 pi and calculated, but this function is different. This function is looking like a sine wave only between 0 and 2 pi. Afterwards everything is 0. So because 4 pi is outside the 2 pi limit, then you have to put 4 pi here, and here you have to put 0, not sine pi. So for all values outside 2 pi, 4 pi will be equal to 0. So you have to tell this is the value of this one, and sine pi value you have to put for f of pi. So like this, it's a very simple exercise. I'll give you another problem. If f of t is equal to t square plus square root of 2t minus 1. Supposing it is like this, that's all for all values of t. Okay, for all values of t, then find f of t at t equal to 1 by 2. T equal to 1 by 2. Because this function is valid for all values of t, what is f of 1 by 2? F of 1 by 2, simply you have to substitute here 1 by 2 square plus square root of 2 into 1 by 2 minus 1. So this becomes 1 by 2 square plus under root 1 minus 1. So this obviously will be equal to 1 by 4. So at t equal to half, the value is 1 by 4. Like this, you can very easily solve these problems. Okay, very easily solve these problems. But there is a small twist in the problem. So what is the problem trying to tell us? Let us read the problem. What is 4a? 4a is given as x of t. Always it need not be f of t. It can be x of t also. What is he giving here? X of t equal to 4 tri in brackets t is giving, and is asking you to find x at t equal to 1 by 2. So what is the value of this one at 1 by 2? Now, please try to remember that whenever you know how to solve the problem, that is only 50% of your preparation. Sometimes in the examination, what happens, you will get problems like this. Now, in this type of problem, you have to know what is tri of t. So this looks something different, something new. Okay, somebody is telling, go to Taj Mahal. Okay, go to Taj Mahal. Now, if you don't know what Taj Mahal is, how difficult it becomes for you to go there only with the name? Not possible, is it not? When somebody says Taj Mahal, you should know first of all where it is and what transportation is available and how to reach there. All these things you have to know, which means just going is not sufficient. You should also know about this particular Taj Mahal, which is a wonder of the world. That means everybody knows about this except you. So if you don't know, you will have difficulty. Even if you know how to reach the place, you will not be able to do that. This danger will be there always for the students who are studying in the last minute. What do you mean by last minute? We never know what type of problem will come in the examination. So they may give a function, which is very clearly understood by us. But they may give a function which is what they call given some code name. We will call it as some code name. Okay, what is tri of t? It is the code name given to a function which is used by communication engineers all over the world. But we are only signals and systems basic student. We are only trying to learn the basics. Now, how do we understand the new things which people are using? We can't. So we have to learn them. We have to learn what is the meaning of this tri of t. Just like we understood that function f of t is equal to sine t for 0 less than t less than 2 pi and is equal to 0 for other values. Similarly, we have to know how this is mathematically defined. This is a code name. This code name must be converted into the mathematical function. You understand? Once you convert this into the mathematical function, then it is very easy to substitute the value of the here. For example, the first problem A requires for us to understand the tri function. So tri means triangle. Okay, sometimes using common sense also we can do it, but we can always make mistake if you don't know the correct definition of the triangle function. Okay, now this fourth problem involves understanding functions which are used in communication systems broadly, widely, all over the world. People use this thing and in such a way they use that it is understood by everybody. Like that they will tell. Tri of t is a triangle function. Why are you asking? Like that they will be talking. So we must know that this is a code name for a signal, and the code name we must remember the mathematical function for this one. So if you don't remember the mathematical function in the exam, if this comes, okay, let us hope it does not come, but hope alone will not win battles. So we must assume that some popular functions, when they are given in the exercises, we must know them and go to the examination. Okay, so keep this point in mind. So what is our objective in this particular video? our objective in this video is, in this problem, let us identify all the new functions which are given code name. Code name is given. You can very easily understand. So first we will try to define them mathematically. And then practice them. Let us try to understand how to substitute the value there and then plot the function or find the value of the function at the given time. Okay, so let us do that. So to do that, what we will do is we'll first remove all this, or we'll go to the next position here. Let us leave it like this, Now let us carefully look at the fourth problem. What is the code name given for a special function in A? In A, it is written x of t equal to 4 tri of t, and we have to find at half, t equal to half. That is at t equal to half, what is the value here? Now some very clever students will be there, right, who will not understand this TRA. What they will do is they'll simply write, you want x of half, no? X of half is equal to 4 tri half. Ho gaya, bas. Okay, I should get full marks. They will write like this, but this is not the correct answer. So we must give a specific value. Is it 0 or 1 or -1, 2, what it is? That value you have to give. Some numeric answer must be there, not just a general formula replacing the original formula. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, what is TRI of t? So what is TRI of t? So I have given this thing. Joseph, can you tell me? You are there, no? Joseph, what is TRI of t? Okay, I will tell you. So TRI is called as the triangle function because of the shape. It's a triangle.
Of t.
So triangle of t. How do we define this thing, Joseph? TRI of t is equal to first one, 1 minus mod t. 1 minus mod t for all values of t, for all values of mod t less than 1. For all values of mod t less than 1. Okay, and it is equal to 0. It is equal to 0 for all values of t greater than 1. Okay, it is equal to 1 minus mod t for all values of mod t less than 1, and it is equal to 0 for all values of mod t greater than 1. So how it looks like when you try to draw the graph of this one, how does it look like? You can spend some time on this one later, but I will just show you how it looks like. This is the time axis. So he is clearly telling mod t, that means +1 or -1. So we will put here -1, here we will put +1. Okay, now here you can see outside these two values it is equal to 0, but inside these two values it will follow this particular thing. So that means supposing you are taking 0 to 1, okay, you are varying t from 0 to 1. T equal to 0. What is the value at t equal to 0? So this is TRI of t. Okay. What is the value of this function at t equal to 0? T equal to 0, it is equal to 1. So here we will put 1. At t equal to 0, it is equal to 1. Then at t equal to 1, it is equal to 0. So here it is equal to 0. Same is the case for -1 because we are using mod. Okay, -1 of mod is 1 only. So here at -1 also it is. So you get points like this. At t equal to 0, you get this point. T equal to -1, you get this point. T equal to +1, you get this point. This is the equation of a straight line. It's a linear equation. 1 minus t, no square or anything. So simply we can join these 2 points like this. And these 2 points also we can join like this. You understand? So this is called as a triangle function. So this is called as a triangle function. This function is very useful in communication systems. Okay. We will not discuss more about it. Communication systems. You'll come across this thing more and more. Now, because it is used more and more in the communication systems, something, for example, you have somebody who is very, very popular, very popular, then you'll give a nickname to him. You'll give a nickname, Bobby, you will tell, okay? Hey, call Bobby. So, supposing I'm new to your class, I don't know who Bobby is. It is like that, okay? Now, if you are new to signals and systems, if you don't know anything about signals and systems, or you did not study about it, somebody is talking about triangle function, you don't know what triangle function is. You don't know what a triangle, you know what a triangle is, but you don't know what a triangle function is. Okay, now this is the formula for this one. Understood? Now what is the value he is asking to find here? At t equal to half he is telling. T equal to half. See how simple it is once you know this one. You have drawn it. Where is t equal to half? Half is here. So this is 1 by 2. Okay. At 1 by 2, what is the value of this one? Because this is a straight line, simply join it here. This is in the middle of these 2 points. Obviously, the y-axis also should be middle of these 2 points. So this has to be half. Is it not? So here the answer for this one will be half. Here at t equal to half, x of half is equal to half. You understood? So like this, unless we know the triangle function, it will not be possible for us to solve the problem. Now this definition is there. I will send you the handout also, and you should note down carefully. In future, whenever we use it, you should always try to remember this particular function. Okay. Now sometimes they will ask funny questions like find the Fourier transform of a triangular function. Something like they'll give like this: Fourier transform of a TRI of a t. If you don't know what is TRI of t, you will get terribly confused. Even if you know Fourier transform formula, you will not be able to solve the problem. So many times it will happen like that. Okay. Now signals and systems, for that matter, all subjects are something like you must pay 200% attention to what is being taught in the class. Okay. If you are not paying attention, what happens is you'll miss the most important points that are valuable in this course, and that will make you make your life very difficult. Okay. So now what I will do is let us try to list out. Okay. Let us try to list out. We will have another session to solve more problems from 1 to 4. For today's class, we will try to identify the special functions. So what is the special function in the 4a? In 4a, you are having TRI of t. TRI of t. Is it not? So TRI of t, if is there, I think I made a small mistake. You might not have observed. So we have seen that x of t is equal to actually 4 TRI of t. So we only calculated for TRI of t at t equal to half. T equal to half. What did we get there? We got half. Okay. Not x of t. So this is TRI of t. So TRI of t is equal to half. Make that correction there. So TRI of t is equal to half. Then what is x of t? X of half. x of half is equal to 4 tri of t. See, I made a mistake there. 4 tri of t. So that means 4 into 1 by 2. So this is equal to 2. So when you are in a hurry, you will make mistakes like this. 4 into 1 by 2, which is equal to 2. So let me go back here and make the correction. So here we have this tri t. So tri of t at t equal to half. T equal to half. This is not the correct one. Here we will remove this one and say this is the tri of half. Tri of half is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, then what is x of t? X of half is equal to 4 into tri of t, which is 1 by 2, which is equal to 2. This is the correct answer. So 2 is the correct answer for the first problem here, 4a. 4a problem is like that. So for 4a, what you have to know? You have to know that tri of t is equal to 1 minus mod t for mod t less than 1, and it is equal to 0 for mod t greater than 1. You have to remember this thing, otherwise you cannot solve the problem. Now let us look at 4b. So what do you see at 4b? X of t is given. X of t is given 2 RECT. RECT t by 4. Yes, it's a rectangle function. X of minus 1. Okay. At x of minus 1, what is the value of this function? So you should know that RECT stands for rectangular function. Okay, we should know the definition of this rectangular function. Very, very important. Okay, so we will write that definition for the rectangular function. So RECT of t. So please write down RECT of t is equal to 1. Is equal to 1 for mod t less than 1 by 2. For mod t less than 1 by 2, it is equal to half for mod t equal to half, and it is equal to 0. It is equal to 0 for mod t greater than half. Okay, it is equal to 1 for mod t less than half. It is equal to 0 greater here there is a small mistake here, less than 1 by minus 1 by 2 we have to take. So this one, so you can see some mistakes are there. So this is like this, and okay, so this we will take like this only, is equal to half. Let us plot this thing first, and then we can have slightly different definition also. So that is why, you know, in the book it is given slightly differently, and here it is for mod t greater than half. So this is equal to 0, half and 0. So now you can see here, you can plot this rectangular function. So once you plot the rectangular function properly, then you will be able to substitute the value here and then get the correct answer. Okay, so you have to first plot it. So how do you plot this one? Rectangular t is equal to 1, okay, for mod t, any value of t plus or minus of half. Okay, so you will take this thing. Okay, this is t. Value of t is positive or negative of half. So you will take half here, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, plus 1 by 2. Okay, now if the value is less than this one, that means below this value, after this and before this, what is the value? It is equal to 1. So simply you have to put a 1 here. This is 1. So this is the rectangular function. Okay, now what he's telling is at half, what happens exactly at these 2 points, transition points, because you can see here mod t greater than half, anything outside these 2 points, it is becoming 0. That means the function has to start at a 0, somewhere at half it has to become 1. It has to become 1, and at half it has to again become 0. So what is the value at half? At t equal to half, plus or minus? According to the definition of the rectangular function, this is very important here. Although it looks as if it is suddenly changing, according to the definition of the rectangular function, at t equal to plus or minus half, what value we have to take? We have to take plus 1 by 2. Although we plot like this, we have to imagine when you are stretching this portion, supposing this is minus half. This is minus half and slightly plus or minus a delta. If you take, you must understand that something like this is happening in the function. Something like this is happening where at half it is reaching 1 by 2 and after half it is reaching 1. So this you have to remember. So this is 1, this is 0. Somewhere here it becomes half. So which means it does not suddenly change from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. It will pass through a point of half at 1 by 2, exactly at 1 by 2. So this point you have to remember. Okay. Once you remember that, he's asking you what is the value at t by 4. Sorry, at minus 4. Here he's telling, he's giving the rectangular function as a t by 4. Now accordingly you have to modify this function. Okay. You know what is our rectangular function. So there are 2 points here. What is a rectangular function? It is equal to 1 for mod t less than half. It is equal to half for mod t equal to half. It is equal to 0 for mod t greater than half. This much you know. Now you can't use this formula because the problem is asking for rectangular function of t by 4. T by 4. So then what you have to do? You have to follow the same formula, but wherever t is there, you have to put t by 4. Wherever t is there, you have to put t by 4. Let us see that. So RECT t by 4. Now we have to define it as it is equal to 1 for mod t by 4 less than half. Mod t by 4 less than half. If you want to write in terms of t, you can take this 4 on the other side. Then what will happen here? This will become mod t less than 4 by 2. Is it not? Yes or no? So mod t less than 4 by 2. So that means it will become 2. So mod t less than 2. Now you can see it is changing. Okay. Then 1 by 2 for mod t by 4 equal to 1 by 2. That means mod t equal to 2. Mod t equal to 2. So then it is equal to 0 for mod t by 4 greater than 1. So you can write this as greater than 1 by 2. Sorry. Then you can write it as mod t greater than 2. So now you will write the rectangular function like now you will no longer write it as half and minus half. You will write it as minus 2 plus 2. You will write it as minus 2 plus 2 and the value remains same like this. Okay. Now what happened? The rectangular function became large. It is not short. Earlier it was half to half. So whenever you divide t with some number, integer greater than 1, the function will become expanded. Okay. So this is called as scaling. This is called as scaling. Okay. Which you will come across whenever we are applying the Fourier transform. So this is taking longer than half an hour. So because we need to explain these things, no problem. Let us continue that. So now by rearranging these values, it will be easy for you to calculate what is the value at x equal to -1. Simply look at this function. Okay, this graph you have already drawn. This is t, this is rectangular function of t by 4. Correct? Now, what is the value at x equal to 1? At x equal to 1, you see this is 1 here. It has to be 1 only. Okay, at x equal to 1, this function is equal to 1. And what is the answer we want? We want 2 RECT t by 4. So 2 times you have to multiply. Did I say 1 or -1? It has to be -1. So even for -1, it is equal to 1. Okay, so here we have to calculate at t this whole function equal to 1. So that is t by 4 equal to 1. So when you take t by 4 equal to 1, this whole thing is becoming -1. So this is -1 here. So this point will be equal to 1. Is it not? So you have to be very careful when you are trying to apply these values. Okay, so please focus on the function here. So first you define rectangular function of t by 4 and what is the value at this equal to -1. So you can get the answer from this particular function. Okay. Now let us go to the C. So 4C is there. So 4C is x of t equal to 10 sinc t. 10 sinc t and x of 3 by 2. So 10 sinc t x of 3 by 2. So first of all, we have to know here what is meant by sinc function. This is called as a sinc function. What is sinc function? So we have to understand this one. Okay. Now what is the definition of sinc function? It is just a short form of sin x divided by x, or we can also call it as sin theta by theta, or you can also call it as sin t by t. You understand? You can do all these things. Understood? So now what you have to do here is, you know the actual trigonometric formula for this code. This code is sinc, sin of c, sin of c. Now we have to define this thing properly. What is a sinc function? So what is a sinc function? Mathematically we have to define. So let us write that thing for the problem number C. So x of t is equal to 10 sinc t at x of 3 by 2. So what is sinc function? Whenever you plot this function for any value of t, let us say sinc of t is there. So you will get a shape like this. You will get a shape like this. Okay. If you have done the Fourier series for the rectangular periodic signal, and you understood the derivation from exponential Fourier series to Fourier transform. If you understood that derivation along with the waveforms, you will see that the coefficients which are appearing, the magnitude of the coefficients, you must have seen that we have plotted something like this. They keep on decreasing as the frequency increases. That is for frequency. This is what is called as the sinc variation. The variation looks like a sin x by x or sin t by t. Now every point here we can calculate the value. At every point we can find out what is the value of this function. Now, obviously, for t equal to 0, I don't require any formula because I know that sine 0 by 0 is equal to 1. Limit as 0, this time tends to 0. So this I already know from trigonometry. So one clear-cut answer for sine c of t, it is equal to 1. It is equal to 1 at t equal to 0. Simple. Okay. Now, what is it equal to at other values other than 0 at t not equal to 0? Obviously, we have to calculate. We can't simply write it as sine c t. We have to write it as sine t divided by t. That means we have to substitute the value of that time, calculate sine t, then divide it with the t. Okay. Now, this is how the definition will be provided. So let me try to expand this thing a little bit, and then we will come back. Yes. Now let us go back to the sinc function. So let us first define the sinc function. Okay, so let us define the sinc function. So please write down. The sinc function is defined as SINC of t. Okay, there are two ways of defining this. Okay, so one way is you will simply call it as sine t by t. That's all, sine t by t. Okay, this is the ordinary way of defining. You don't have to give t, because if you put t equal to 0, automatically you will get one answer here. Is it not? So you don't have to do it. Either you can write like this, simple way of writing like this, or you can also write it is equal to 1 for t equal to 0, and it is equal to sine t by t for t not equal to 0. Okay, this is one way. Now there is another way called normalized form. Okay, normalized form. So which is written as sine pi t over pi t. So why it is called normalized form, we will discuss later. But for the time being, simply substitute the value of t in sine t by t. Whatever answer you get, that is the answer that you are going to use in the function. Okay, so that is how we have to work it out. Now coming to the fourth problem, that is D here, you are already aware of the rectangular function. You know what is RECT. Rectangular function is known to you. But this rectangular function is multiplied with another function which is called as SGN. Let us see what it is. 4D. Here in this one I will only write the new function SGN. What is SGN of t? So this full form is a signum function. I already gave this to you in the handout for this signum function. Okay, so what is signum function? Signum function is very easy to understand. That means for all values of t greater than 1 is greater than 0, it will have a value of 1, and for all values of t less than 0, it will have a value of -1. At t equal to 0, okay, you can call it as 0, but usually we will give it as the center value, which is equal to 0. Okay, so let us try to write that. S, please write down signum S G N of t. Don't write full name. Don't write SIGNUM, because you get used to this one. Signum SGN of t is equal to +1, is equal to +1 for t greater than 0. No mod here. Okay, t greater than 0, and it is equal to 0 for t equal to 0, and it is equal to -1 for t less than 0. Sorry, not 1, less than 0. Okay, now how do we plot this one? How do you plot the signum function? So we plot the signum function like this. So this is t, this is signum of t, this is 0. Okay, for all values of t greater than 0, it is plus 1. For all values of t less than 0, it is equal to minus 1. That's all. Okay, now this is signum function. Now somewhere you please note down that this signum function we will apply a lot in communication systems, and we will be using what is called as a Hilbert transform. Hilbert transform. Now this Hilbert transform is very useful in communication systems, and you can see its application in the communication systems along with this signum function. So when we come to that, we will discuss. Okay, just remember the connection. I'm not going to explain Hilbert transform to all of you. So let us now look at whether we know all the special functions or not. What are the special functions? Trigonometric function, rectangular function, sinc function, signum function. Okay, what else is there? Nothing else is there. Only the combination of all these things is there. But you can see sometimes it is divided by 4, it is divided by 2, multiplied with 2. So you have to modify the function in such a way that you know the clear picture of the function, the new function, and then substitute the value for t here and then solve the problem. Okay, so that is how you have to understand the way the problems are solved. So to conclude today's class, which has taken more than 30 minutes time, please note down, it is extremely important not only know the procedure to solve the problems, which is like substituting the value of t in the given function, but you should also become familiar with the terminology that we use, the code words, the code names that we use for different functions. Okay, you have to know all those things, and you have to, in a complicated situation, you should be able to apply these rules and then solve the problem. Okay, so listen carefully one more time to the video, because this video is by far the most important video, because in your question paper, please remember what will happen. You know simple functions, you know how to do Fourier transform, but suddenly if you see something like this one, rectangle and signum, first of all, students who have just opened the book 1 week before, they will not even remember what is this SGN. Okay, then they won't know what is RECT. Then they don't know how to combine both of them. What is being asked, they get confused here. So a lot of confusion will be generated because of problems like this one. That is why I'm telling you repeatedly that every day you spend 5 minutes at least, minimum 5 minutes, to understand the terminology and how to solve the problems. Okay, now this I consider as a very important lecture. So please tell everybody that please watch this video and then get back to me if you have not understood something, because we'll do more problems like this. Okay, after this video, you should know all these functions. So I'm going to post the definitions also in the group. Please note down somewhere in the notebook. And then I'm also going to realize these functions using MATLAB. Okay, so you will also see exactly what is happening in MATLAB. So, and what is the advantage of using MATLAB also, you will be knowing. Okay, so with the conclusion that we have studied about the triangle function, rectangle function, sinc function, signum function, using which we can solve all these problems. Okay, which is involving, let us say here, time shifting is there, inversion is there, time scaling is there here. All these things are there. You know all these different operations based on the earlier exercises like 3 and 2 and 1. You should be able to attempt these problems. Okay, so with this we will conclude today's class, and today evening again I will come online to solve the other problems. Whatever problems are there, other problems, I will solve them, and request all of you to get back to me whether you have understood or not understood. Okay, so just a minute, I will stop the video now and then get back to clarifying your doubts.